tired of this place. I'm gonna get out of here as soon as I can! Please help me. I'm losing my mind. Please.
We all know Spider-Man is one of the greatest heroes of Marvel, and really has the greatest rogue gallery of all time. If you think about Spider-Man villains, which villains come out of your mind? Venom, Carnage, Green Goblin, Kraven the Hunter, Dr. Octavius, the Lizard, the Rhino, and so many more. Like, so many of these villains of Spider-Man have become iconic. But there's some villains that never got the spotlight. And one of those villains is Spidercide. If you don't know who Spidercide is, Spidercide was a clone of Peter Parker, who is basically what happens if Spider-Man loses control and decides to become a villain. And he's created by the Jackal. Yeah, the Jackal. You know, the guy who looks like Green Goblin, but his weird Jackal-looking cousin. Yeah, that's how I'm going to describe the guy. And this guy is basically straight up demon timing. I mean, like, he really doesn't give zero fucks about anything he does. Like, seriously, the dude doesn't care. Or, also, he caught over 75 bodies. That's how much of a menace he is, but he never gets brought up to anything about Spider-Man villains. Not even the top 10 or one of the greatest villains of Spider-Man. Instead, he's just basically the forgotten evil Spider-Man. Heck, even though his other clones, aka his other brothers, like Peter, Ben, and Kang, appeared in more media, Spidercide never got the love that he deserved. And that got me thinking, does he deserve to be in other media besides the comics? And the answer is, yeah, he definitely deserves to be in other media. Well, except for cartoons, because one, imagine a cartoon that Spider-Man has to fight Spidercide and he murders a bunch of people in Invincible style. Yeah, Marvel in the 90s were doing that in the 90s in a Spider-Man comic. Seeing an evil Spider-Man meant murking people, slaughtering them. Like, god damn, this is straight up demon timing on this guy. He's basically J. Jonah Jameson's worst nightmare. Okay, back to the topic. But the only place that Spidercide should be in there is video games, and probably some hints of him in the cartoons. Like, it's a crazy thing that we never got to see Ben Reilly and King Parker in the Insomniac verse. Instead, we just get costumes of them. And we never got to see Spidercide, because one, they only games of Spider-Man only care about the most popular villains. Like, how many times have we faced Electro in video games, or Dr. Octopus? And Venom multiple times, because they're iconic villains of Spider-Man. But what happens if Insomniac decides to pull an Uno reverse card for the next Spider-Man game? Hell, even a spin-off featuring Ben Reilly and King Parker, that you thought to yourself that, let me guess, the final boss is Venom or Kraven the Hunter, or a different villain. Instead, that the villain that you thought it was will be the final boss turns out to be the Jackal, revealing Spidercide to you. It could be something like a Nightmare Fuel boss fight. Like, you know, actual Nightmare Fuel. or like symbiote Dr. Octopus from the PS1 Spider-Man game. Like seriously, Spidercide is basically nightmare fuel. And you can use that to make his design for the games to be horrific. And probably his dialogue will be savage or hatred. Like basically, he really hates his brothers. Basically, he's basically the reverse Flash or the Black Adam of the Spider family. Like seriously, he only cares about his hating on the Peter Parker, the Ben Reilly, and the King Parker. He really wants to hit those hands on their faces and wants to clap Mary Jane's ain't so badly. Well, it's a good thing he's not there, or else you'll see Paul. And we all know what he's going to do to Paul. That fucking bastard. And it's crazy to think about that you could use his design to come up with his own fighting style. Like, he could be like Venom, but mixed with Spider-Man. And, like, it's crazy to think about. Spidercide, I could be a menace in the game that is framing Spider-Man for so many murders. It is up to Peter to find out who he is. And yes, this is a connection to the previous video I did featuring Ben Reilly and Kate Parker. Meaning that Spidey thinks that Ben and Kane are the ones who are framing him, but they are trying to find the person that is doing this. So let's not forget, these two have memory crisis. And they thought it was someone like Dr. Octopus or anyone else that is putting on the costume. And it turns out that the final boss in the game is Spidercide. Even though Spider-Man is supposed to be a kid-friendly character, but sometimes you have to show horrifying things in a Spider-Man comic. Like, seriously. If you look up dark moments in Spider-Man, you'll find some horrific things. And now it's up to the Spider Bros to take on the Spider Menace. And after you defeat him, he'll probably return in the future Spider-Man games. As a menace as always. But what about cartoons? Well, since he's basically a monster version of Spider-Man, and you'll probably leave some hints about the clones in the episodes to connect them. Then when you reveal the Jackal, you will see Ben Reilly and Kane Parker. But instead of joining the Jackal, they joined Spider-Man. But he saved one last clone to deal with the Spider-Man, being Spidercide. Hey, you could do something different with his design. You can make him nightmare fuel or kid-friendly as possible to keep the kiddies watching on the show. Oh, but you had... Yeah. Like, even though Spider-Man cartoons have kid-friendly things, but sometimes you have to go nightmare fuel mode to make the kids... It's... scared. You could do that with Spidercide. And make sure that Spidercide is basically a menace to society by showing him beating the living hell out of that shows Spider-Man, Ben Reilly, and Kane. Heck, if you had Miles? Oh boy, this is going to be some troubling time for Miles. Like, you could do a lot of things with Spidercide. Like, this guy is basically the underrated villain of Spider-Man. And I really kind of dig the idea of that the Jackal decides to make another clone of Spider-Man, but without his morals and responsibility. And plus, every time I talk, like, that I kind of sound like someone that I watch so much. CJ the Champ. Oh, great. This makes me want to do a video about how much Spidercide is a menace and Black Force energy. Heck, I could make some video. Wait, do I remember that video I promised about a certain demon girl from a DC show that is basically a menace to society? Oh shit, I really need to get to that. So yeah, Spidercide is a underrated villain from Spider-Man that deserves to be in more media outside of the comics. If you agree with this video, and leave a like on the video, and leave a comment down below what role you think that Spidercide should get in the cartoons, video games, and more media. And if you want me to make the video about how much Spidercide is a menace, alongside with Young Justice, Child, old, like seriously, I really need to make that goddamn video. I'm out. See ya, everyone.